So,
Well, that's good. That's definitely going.
That looks good.
all right.
Okay, I will make sure that we get... Or do we want to double check that it's live first before we...
I think we're
I'm
okay.
just gonna
I think we're
take
okay.
a quick
okay?
check just to see.
Yeah, it is. We'll
If
just
keep
start
the
it up.
mic
I think
at
we're
chin
good.
level. Now I know.
Hey, sorry, remind me to ask you guys, you all have the first letter of your name on your little, and mine is just black. How do you get your initial in that nice little round circle in the middle of
Oh, yeah.
your,
Good
you know?
question.
Oh, I won't
Didn't
try
even know that was a
accident-
thing.
I might accidentally make myself.
You might do something cool beyond, yeah. Actually, trigger a nuclear war here. All because
Yes,
of a letter
yes.
on your. Is it really worth it now?
Right now, no.
I think it's a picture.
No,
I think that's.
no, there was a way. There was a way to do it. I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I'm not as smart as these guys.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I don't know, but I didn't even know that was a thing. So.
No. I think it has. I think
It's
for
really nice.
I think for us, I think it uses the picture on our Google accounts for those of us that are signed in with one.
Oh, so maybe if you don't have a picture, it just does the initial?
Well, no, that's what she wants. She wants the initial, the first letter of her name, right? Because each of the screens here is like Sienna. Yours is a blue screen, and it has the letter S in a circle, in a blue circle. And
Okay.
right? And
It's
so
really
Ellie
nice.
has like a taupe, I think that's not taupe, or maybe teal colored, and there's a letter gray circle with an A in it, and I got lime green, and which is, by the way, I like green, and then
neat.
a circle and a P, right? And I don't know how that happened exactly, but that's. But Lynn doesn't have anything. All hers is blank.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Boring.
I wonder if I.
No, you're being different. I like that, Lynn. You're being different, Lynn. Not at all.
Yes, that's
You're
it.
You're making a statement by not saying a damn thing. Okay, you're speaking volumes in a way that okay.
Yes.
There we are. Yes.
I know. I'm actually being serious here. Okay, I'm actually being serious. Paul, I'm telling better if you didn't laugh. Oh, sorry about that. I got to work on that. My delivery sucks.
Oh man, you'd be good at comedy.
You would.
Oh,
You'd be good at live comedy.
You know what? I thought about trying that. The problem is, it's better off the cuff for me. If I write it and plan it out, it's not going to work. It won't sound natural. That's the problem I have. You know what I mean? Like I can do this now because
That's the best. It's
I'm bouncing off
natural.
of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could kind of outline without writing a full thing. Like you
That
could
is
write
probably
down
true.
like topic.
This is true. Well, I'll have you guys in the audience.
Yes.
There we go.
All right, let's get started.
So I'm not hearing anything on my end.
Oh, on the live stream.
Wait a minute. Let me
what do you mean?
see. Oh, let me just see. I'm just gonna check.
Everything
one
is set
more.
up properly.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually,
Yeah, I've got
oh,
everything
yeah,
set
we're
up.
good. Yeah.
Everything we set it up properly.
Yeah.
No, actually, I just heard it. We're good. It
Okay.
just took a while to load
Yeah,
on
it-
my
yeah,
end, but
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
we
Alrighty.
are
There we go.
we
Alright.
are we are phenomenal.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
In 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Good evening on Friday, July 31st, 2026. Back again with another books panel. As always, thank you so much if you're tuned in live, and thank you to those of you listening on the podcast later. We're so happy that you've tuned in to listen to another great book discussion.
I wonder where you picked up this nice intro from. That was good there, right there. I wonder where you picked that up from. You want to share?
Oh, who can say? It's just came up over time, and I like thanking the listeners first.
Oh, but I thought you maybe got that as I thought that might have been one of the tips for me.
It might have been.
I don't know. Maybe. Well,
Great job, though, MacRae.
yeah, no, you did a great
Oh,
job.
thank you.
Perfect.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
As are all of you.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate
I
that.
feel a group hug coming. Okay.
Yes.
Virtual group hugs all around.
Yay, I love it. Group huggles.
And before we get into living disability this evening, I wanted to start off with a bit of a quick question. As so many discussions of accessibility and disability inevitably lead to discussion of spaces, I wanted to bring that into the literary discussion a bit and ask you all, do you have an ideal space or an ideal sort of reading setup that when you sit down to read, you have conditions that you create for yourself to have that ideal experience? And I'm going to start with Lynn on this one.
Oh, well, yes, I do read sitting up, and I do read during the day and so on my cozy, comfy sofa with a coffee mug. But I grew when I was younger. I grew up. I did a lot of reading in bed, much to my parents' chagrin, because I was supposed to turn the light off, and I would just, hunker down, and I'd be reading, and I'd lose track of the time. If I heard my parents coming, I'd really quick turn off the light. But I did get caught at times, and get this, the neighbors were in on it, because once in a while, the neighbor right across the street would say to my mother, I saw Lynn's light on awfully late last night. Great. And so that neighbor was right across the street. One street over, parallel to ours, there was a family who lived in a big 2-story house, so they could actually also, one street away, see I was on the second floor. They could also see that my light was on. So it was like, how many people know about that? Like, it cracked me up that somebody that far away would glance out their window. Oh, look, Lynn's light is on at the Kennedy house. And they all would report this to my parents. But anyway, so that's what I do. I read a lot in bed, light on, something cold to drink, not coffee. And that's from my childhood habit.
You got neighbors who are snitches, for God's sakes. You get people who are turning on you, for God's sake. Jeez.
Kidding.
What?
Oh, and I have to tell you one other thing. My parents were clamping down, so what I did was, this is hilarious. What I did was I thought, okay, I can get around them and the neighbors. I'll read with a flashlight. So there I am reading with this flashlight one night. Well, then all of a sudden I was so engrossed in the book, I didn't hear my mother coming until her hand was on my door. My bedroom door was shut. I heard her hand was on the handle really quick. I shoved the flashlight under my covers, and I was struggling to turn it off, but I couldn't get it turned off. So when she threw the door open, there I was with this.
Oh, no.
Wow.
This light emitting from between my legs. I thought, oh, for the
Wow.
Lord.
There's a picture. Wow.
I tell you, I will never forget that moment. My mother just took one look at me, one look at the glow coming, and turned around and laughed.
I wish I were a fly on the wall to witness that.
I wish, in the age of technology, I wish we could have had a camera there. Just
No, no kidding, eh? No kidding.
pretty a Kodak moment.
I could just imagine she probably went downstairs and said to my dad, Don, do you know what your daughter is? Oh dear.
Oh my!
Such lengths to go to.
I know, that's how determined I was to read, because I was a voracious reader.
That's
I read
tiny
every
though. You weren't doing anything wrong. You were reading, and they're giving you a hard time.
Well, I know. I could have been out gallivanting and being God knows where, but no, I was tucked down.
You were doing something educational and constructive.
Exactly. And I still managed to get up the next day and get to school on time.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yep. I had nothing to complain about.
Oh boy. And that must be a fond memory for you, Lynn, looking back, and it's one of those things that maybe for your parents it wasn't funny at the time kind of thing, but and I'm sure that later on they would remember it with fond memories, and you would remember it with fond memories as well. So,
oh yes, yes. I long ago forgave the neighbors.
That's very big of you. That's very big of you. I'm not so sure I feel that way. That's very big of you.
very sweet for sure.
Yeah, now I just find it amusing, especially the neighbors one street over, because they could see over the Hopkins house, and it was Mrs. Hopkins who, started ratting me out. And then I thought, my God, they live in a one-story house, so the house on the next street, of course, they looked out their second window store, and they could just look right over Mrs. Hopkins' house and straight at our place. I thought, oh, how many other neighbors are going to start this up?
Was this a conspiracy of some kind here? It sounds like wow. They're all in on it.
That's how I started feeling.
Wow, yeah.
Neighborhood watch.
Yes.
The first incarnation of neighborhood watching, making sure a kid doesn't read. Okay, got it. All right.
No reading.
Something wrong with this picture, guys. Wrong priorities.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
Oh,
It reminds me of those Facebook groups, the ones that are like name of city neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
And can you imagine?
Right.
Yeah.
There'd be that one neighbor. Yeah, I just saw my neighbor's light on in the middle of the night.
Now, what about you, Sienna? What's your ideal reading setup?
My ideal reading setup. So I used to use the ALEXA device when I had an ALEXA device. I'm spelling the name because I don't want to trigger anybody's Amazon
That
Echo
thing,
device. Right? Yes, that thing. Your favorite, Ellie. Not, but
what did Sam said it hit a nerve? What did he say?
He said he hit a nerve, and then later I think he said, "Oh, I pushed another button," which I like that one better.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would have my smart speaker in my room, and that's what I would use to play the book once I would download the book from Audible. And so I'm still kind of working on my ideal setup. And I used to have a Victor Stream, which I'm not a big fan of.
I probably still have one too.
Yeah, but I mean now the Mantis Q40 Braille display has Bluetooth features built in, and it has the integrated Sela setup built in. So I'm looking forward to incorporating it into my setup. But my current reading setup now is propped up in bed, or sitting upright on the bed with, I just use my phone. I put on Audible or Voice Dream Reader, and there's my reading setup. I
Okay, so you do use your phone then. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
I'll,
okay. I
I'll
wasn't
use
sure.
my
Okay.
phone for for reading, but I do want to give especially for the Sela, wish the Mantis had Audible and Libby integration as well, because I've been playing around with those. But ideally, so I have a thermos, and ideally, if I can find the lid, it's like a mug, like a coffee mug. Ideally, if I can find the lid, then I would also have a hot chocolate on the bedside table beside me.
Nice.
Very nice.
Mhm.
What about you, Paul? What's your ideal setup?
Well, mine's a little more similar to Lynn, minus the nosy neighbors. The That's gonna be in my head all day now. No, usually when I was a kid, much like that, I read on at night, and I would enjoy reading it at night and listen to some classical music, and I still do that. Listen to classical music, also jazz, slow jazz. But usually, and at home, I'll sit in my favorite chair. I bought a comfy chair a few years ago. First time ever I had a chair that I liked, and I sit back and I enjoy with a mug of coffee beside me, and it's just the best feeling ever. And actually, outside of that, the other great place to read for me is a coffee shop across the local library. I walk across there, deliver that one coffee place. I go there, I sit there for 2 hours, and I'll just read the newspaper, read a book, have a large cup of coffee, and just sit back and enjoy the moment. It's something that it's relaxing. I mean, and I do my very best to put my phone away because I don't want to be distracted by with you know the phone and the so-called fear of missing out. I don't want to be distracted by that, and that's how I do it mostly. Almost any good place with a book in my hand, I'm just fine. A cup of coffee, even better, and a comfortable place to sit, paradise.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Mhm.
Especially the coffee shop and everything. That's
Indeed.
That's always really neat too, because then you have the opportunity to like say hello to people before you get settled in for your reading session.
Indeed, indeed.
What about you, Allie?
No. I believe you know what mine is. I believe so. I think you do. But
I think I might know part of it. Yeah.
I will share.
Please.
Because, that's what I do around here. So mine, part of it, I like it. Mine is I read in bed. Okay? Now, in case you don't know, some of you here do know. Okay? Some of you do know here that I'm also a Jays fan. So, yeah, some of you know that here. And if you know me well, yes. So, what I'll do is I'll have the game on with the timer. And then after Blair and Barker on the post-game show, if I'm still awake, I'll put the book on. So, that's how I do it. And I have it, and I listen on the iPad. Plug the phone in, I listen on the iPad. Sometimes my phone, but sometimes usually on the iPad. I set the timer for 1 hour.
Timer's always good because then you can control when you don't have to worry about when it's gonna if you drift off, then it's going to stop after a while, and you can kind of rewind if you need to next time you pick it up.
Yeah, but you know what though? I don't need to do that. You know why? Because I usually have an idea.
You have your own internal clock?
Yes.
Oh, I'm impressed.
No, an idea of where I am in the book.
I thought you
Wow.
meant the book is supposed to your own time. Okay.
Yes.
Still, I'm impressed.
Very good.
Could you imagine if it was the time?
I'd be equally impressed. Yes.
I find like I find like with the sleep timer,
Oh no.
It is good. It is very helpful, but I'm always having to rewind regardless, because it's like, what did I miss? I still
Man,
get
I
that
stopped
feeling
doing that.
of,
I used to do that.
what did I miss? You know?
I used to do that, and then I stopped doing it
I
because
still do.
I know you.
That's
I
what
can
tend
see
to
that.
think with that.
Pardon?
That's what I tend to think with that. That's why I kind of asked it that way, because that's what I feel like would happen.
Say, for example, I'm reading the book. I start nodding off half an hour into it. And then my sleep timer is an hour. I'm like, man, I just missed half an hour of this book.
No, that
Right.
doesn't matter.
Oh man.
It's
dear.
it's just such an awkward feeling, and like it's one that like I have to rewind half an hour. Otherwise, it's like until I like get to a part that I remember. It's like, okay, yeah, this is where I was before I nodded off.
Well, this is great. I've been really thrilled to hear about all your reading setups. It's fun to hear what you all.
Yeah, and what
What
about yours,
yours?
McCara?
Yes,
Yeah, and then we'll take then we'll do some commercials.
Yeah.
I tend to either be kind of propped up on my couch or sometimes at my desk, because I really don't find I can read lying down, especially not with like a blanket or anything. I will fall asleep.
Oh,
It's not even a question. I will.
oh man! Can you try it tonight? Try it tonight, just for the panel. Turn the timer on.
Maybe.
No. Remember? Oh, did you forget?
Maybe is another one of the ones we don't like.
You forgot.
How about perhaps?
And you said for sure earlier.
I
yeah.
am sure.
Guilty as charged.
And yeah, depending on what time of day it is, if it's the morning and I'm starting the day off, then I'm probably on my couch with a cup of tea.
You can't be too comfortable when you're in bed at night, because otherwise, if you are too comfortable, you'll fall asleep. That's what will happen, right? So you have to keep sort of awake, and find usually a book that keeps you going, like for some people it's a suspense thriller or a gothic thriller or a horror novel will keep them awake. And I think something really that grabs your attention. Otherwise, you'll fall asleep. Because you get too comfortable.
That is true.
That's a risk. And I have had the same problem myself on a number of occasions.
And then you just sort of start using it as like white noise almost, like if you're listening to an audiobook.
Right, exactly, precisely.
And now, before we get into living disability, we will take a very quick commercial break. You're listening to the Books panel right here on the Musa Slobodian Network. Stay tuned.
Actually, you want to just keep going?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Rather keep going? All right, yeah.
Okay, but for the commercial side, check out all the but we'll promote here. Check out. I'm gonna leave that part in, okay? I'm gonna leave it in.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna leave it in. No editing on that. I'm leaving it in. Okay.
It's more fun this way.
You're leaving it in?
Yes. Okay. So, but it is a time to promote some of the other programming here that we offer here on the Musa Slobodian Network here, and of course with Textravaganza, of course, as well. So the Musa Slobodian Network is a network of 3 shows. the Ali Musa Show, and the Books Panel. And of course, most importantly, the Ali and MacRae Show. All of these shows have their unique branding. So check them out. Where can they check us out?
You can find all of the shows at the MusaSlobodianNetwork.ca.
Okay.
And each show also has an individual YouTube channel.
That's right, yes. And also Textravaganza, where for tips and tricks and tutorials on how to use your favorite devices, check us out at textravaganza.ca. And I promise I'll be back at Textravaganza real soon.
Yay! And for those of you who would like to, suggest a topic, what would you like to learn about? You can also email support at textravaganza.ca, and we'll be happy to feature your topics. And really excited about. I should mention here. I'm really super pumped about next week's, because I'm going to be showing you guys how to, using VoiceOver, how to set up an iPhone right from scratch, like right out of the box. So this is going to be fun times next week. I'm looking forward to it, and hope that you guys can make it. If you can't make it live, then definitely do tune into the podcast.
Oh, come on. We want at least 50 people. No.
Yes.
50 people, yes.
No. You know what?
We can accommodate 100, so
100, eh?
at least 50.
Ah, yeah, that's the...
I'm volunteering.
It's held over that Zoom platform, isn't it? Yeah, by default
Yes,
by default you get 100. So unless you want to give them more money and pay for an add-on, but no, thank you. Sorry, Zoom.
I do feel your pain, believe
Sorry,
me.
Zoom. Sorry,
really
I'm
do.
not.
We won't dive too deep down that rabbit hole.
No. All I'm saying is I'm getting...
Not tonight, exactly.
No, all I'm saying is I'm getting a better deal with Workspace. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what, I'm actually quite impressed with the audio quality, just the overall ease of use.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the interface and everything.
It's an easier
The
interface.
interface is very smooth.
I don't know what it looks like visually, but that's another conversation to have.
But using screen readers, they've really done a top-notch job at making it friendly with screen readers. So,
yes.
Kudos, Google.
And now, how about we get into the book?
Let's do it. I'm going to start with Paul on this one, and then we can open it up for broader discussion.
Well, thank you very much. And I really enjoyed this book. It's because it's, first of all, it's written by people who are disabled, who live this experience every day. And it's not written as a disability studies reader, but written in a much more accessible manner, so that anybody, even if they don't have any background, can understand. It's all, one of the things with the book that I liked was there's no apology here. We're not apologizing. We acknowledge the inconvenience of disability in the sense that it's different. Especially with the inconvenience, though, is felt by them on a daily basis. They have to maneuver themselves in a world that was not built with them in mind, with people with disability in mind. Pardon, let me say it properly. It was in a world that was not built for the disabled in mind. They had to constantly negotiate ways around barriers, physical, infrastructural barriers, and also attitudinal barriers. Not just once in a while, but all the time, on a daily basis. They had to make plans in a way that able-bodied people don't have to make plans. When you want to go shopping, or you need to get a paratransit service, you have to book that. And I thought this book did that very, very well. And they also, one of the highlights of the book was the inclusion of the 10 principles of disability justice. That really stood out for me. It brought home to me the message: once you include the disabled, everybody's included, because disability cuts through every other demographic. No one's excluded. You can be rich, you can be poor, you can be black, you can be white, gay or straight. You can be whatever. If any demographic you can think of, chances are there's a person who's disabled, because we're all going to be disabled. If not now, we will be. That's a reality. And the the book, one quote in the book, in the early part of the book, was, a foundational piece of being disabled is knowing that other people don't move through the world like you do, don't notice what you do. And so in other phrases, we are disabled, and not disabled but. We stop at the word disabled. No apology, no explanation, no qualification. That's part of who we are. And I think that's the book that stands out. That's point of the book that stands out very well for me. Each of the people talk from different aspects of disability, what it is to be in a more accessible, in a less than accessible times at the moment, and what is incurred. And sometimes it can be hard to read. Sometimes those topics that are covered are hard to read, but they need to be said, and again, said without apology. I think that's what makes this book particularly useful, and should be read by a wider audience beyond just people who are disabled.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Paul?
No?
You gave a fantastic description of the book. I found it invaluable because there were, a number of voices. How many? 30 or 30, something like that. These people speak from experience. And I too, in terms of disability justice, it cuts through all demographics. And your point is well taken that, I am a fully sighted person, but the fact doesn't escape me that, I may not always be. As I age, my eyes have been changing, and and I might experience blindness at some point down the road. I like that everything that was said was without apology. I agree. I thought you did a fantastic job, summarizing some extremely valuable key points about that book. I loved it. I would like to get people to read it. My son lost his sight when he was, I think I probably told you about this. He was in his late 20s, 30ish, something like that. It never should have happened. It was, there were a lot of, dreadful hiccups in the medical system, but so he is blind in one eye. The other eye, it's like looking through a straw. The sight that he has looking through that straw is excellent, but there's no peripheral vision. And I've actually told people, if you want to know how Ian, in fact, I had to mention it to my daughter's husband because he wasn't getting it. And so I said, okay, if you want to know what Ian's life is like so that you can understand and not get frustrated with him, or etc., cover your right eye, and with your left hand, make a little fist and put it up to your eye and just look through that, in other words, create a little straw. And that's how he sees, with just that little tiny. And it really, I couldn't believe how much it opened his eyes, my son-in-law's eyes. I couldn't believe it. All of a sudden, he, it was like a light bulb went on. He seemed to have more understanding. who was more receptive to, the kinds of things that, Ian from time to time, was wanting to say about his disability. So anyway, I'm sort of going off on a tangent here, but I like what you said about the book, Paul, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. I loved it. I thought it was an excellent read. And I wish that lots of sighted people would read it, because I don't know that everybody understands, what the challenges are. And the world is built. It's built for sighted people.
Correct. Indeed. Indeed.
Absolutely. I haven't gotten to the end. I did start reading it on Libby a little bit, but I since downloaded the Sela version, and I really want to get to the end of it, and I'm going to definitely binge read this one. But I like that the people who are sharing their experience. It's lived experience. I mean, people with disabilities, whether it's physical, cognitive, intellectual, otherwise, we can all relate in some form or another. Especially when it comes to things like, having to rely on adaptive transportation when it comes to I mean, yes, I can take the bus, but I, for various reasons, choose not to. And so, having to rely on adaptive transportation, and you could be calling in that week in advance, but still be on a waiting list until the very last minute. So it's definitely something that it's a common frustration for many. And just knowing, hey, this is, and even when it comes to things like employment, it's not that we can't work, it's that
I had a feeling you were going to say this. But go ahead.
society it's not that we can't work, it's society's attitudinal
Yeah. Exactly.
Perception.
perception. One of the things that I've heard a lot of is, accommodations are expensive, when, to be honest, accommodations are like not as costly as you might think
They're not.
in a lot
They're
of
not.
cases. And I remember a particular experience, if I may, that I had applied for a call center job, and the accommodations that I needed were accommodations that, quite frankly, I already had in my possession and that I was able to implement myself. I had the Braille display. I had, NVDA at the time, and I had a portable version of NVDA at the time, so it was not something that they had to implement. It was something that I could have easily implemented myself, and they decided that it would be too costly to accommodate, and gave all kinds of excuses. So, and it kind of reminds me of a lady that I've been following on Facebook. Paul, you might be familiar with Wheelie Chronic.
The name seems familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a wheelchair user, and she lives with chronic pain and multiple disabilities, and she really drives home this point that down the road people are going to have some form of disability in one way or another.
Correct.
So it's, and I can relate to a lot of what she says when it comes to things like inclusion and whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
and the fact that
Yeah.
they're all speaking from experience, it really drives the point home that, like, we are disabled, and you know what, we're unapologetic. We just want to be included. We just want to belong.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
That's the thing. We're not asking for more. Just the same. It's not like people confuse same treatment with equal treatment. Equal treatment does not mean same treatment. If you know, it's that's the big myth. People confuse same treatment with equal treatment. It's not the same thing. You need sometimes if a person who is working in an office and they're deaf or hard of hearing, a regular phone isn't going to work. They're going to need some kind of a device that they can know that the phone is being used and the I forget the name of it with the name of uh, the teletype that will type of the message so they can read the message to the person who's calling them. And so is that special treatment or is that equal treatment? Is that fair treatment? Right? We would say fair treatment
Mm.
because the person otherwise couldn't do the
Yep,
job. Right?
Yes,
Others would say no. That's a
absolutely.
gift. It's an advantage. And I've heard that. It's not uncommon.
I've heard it too. Yeah,
Yeah. And you
and
go like,
Mhm.
yeah,
it's not any kind of like special treatment. It's fair.
exactly.
It's a reasonable accommodation, and that's another thing that people tend to kind of misunderstand
Yes.
what is considered a reasonable accommodation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Do you think it's, understanding, but also in some peculiar way, eh, people fear disability for some I don't know if fear
Yes.
is like
That's
they,
no, no.
they
They fear their vulnerability.
yes,
They
yes,
fear
that
their
yes.
vulnerability.
Hmm.
That's what it comes down to. What somebody wants to ask you when somebody you ask me, what are you afraid of? What would happen? What could you go without? Of all the facilities you have right now, what could you go without? Oh, I don't know, losing your hearing or all of it. Ask an able-bodied person what they could do without, and they could say, "Oh, I can never be do what you do, Paul." No, I have a disability. I walk with, I have a limp. I have spinal bifida. I've had it since the day I was born, and so it's getting progressively more of a challenge. But you function. Oh, I don't know how you could do it, Paul. My wife's a little person. She's got a challenge herself, and go, how do you guys do it? I mean, you make it seem like it's extraordinary. What else is there, right? And that's the thing, you adapt to the
Yes,
circumstance, right?
yes,
They can't see that. Oh no, I could never do that. And I go like, well, that's not. And and if you give into that approach, you're simply reinforcing the superhero stereotype, which I can't stand. It's not about being courageous. We have no choice. It's either sink or swim. It's as cut and dry as that. Sink or swim. If we don't move, we're gonna stay right here and we're gonna just watch life pass us by. You have to keep moving, but that does not, however, uh, excuse the majority from having to make sure things are more accessible. That does not in any way excuse that. And they have an obligation. See, most of people look at us through what they call the medical model. We're looking through the social model. Like the disability is part of life. It's important upon society to make society more accessible. Rather than us having us to repair ourselves, if you know what I mean. I think
yes,
that's
Exactly.
one of the things in that book
yeah.
that's mentioned a lot.
And I think too, it's opened my eyes and
Hmm.
in a lot of ways to, you know, and even like um, being around many people with various disabilities has really opened my eyes to,
Hmm.
you know, are things accessible? Do, like, for example, for someone who may be a wheelchair or walker user, um, are these stairs are too steep? Even someone using a cane, like, I'm always now it's just a subconscious thing that, I'm really picking up on things like that. Do doors have tactile or braille signage to let me know what room number I'm at? Things like that. And it just has made me even more aware, and even things that I've been taken for granted. Like, for example, the place where we have our choir practices, there are some people in our choir who use canes, and and some have said something, some have not. But when I first
Sorry, a support cane?
support canes, yeah. And there's one lady who now needs to use a walker, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can do these stairs, and like I've taken it for granted, but I had a little kind of aha moment, like, if this person now has to use a walker, how are they going to get up and down these stairs? There's no working elevator.
Oh dear.
And so
That's not good.
It's not.
And I'm really thinking I'm just trying to find out, like, who do I talk to about this? Because this is not a matter that I take lightly.
Absolutely.
It's strange. Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Paul.
go ahead, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
I was agreeing. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Proceed.
It's it's a strange thing, isn't it, that even within the disability community, we're not immune to some of these, I don't want to say ableist thought processes, but it's just from a genuine place of not knowing whether we don't have people in our circles with other disabilities, or even if we do, sometimes and as the book states, it's learning how to be in environments, even as disabled people, with other people whose needs are different. And what does that mean? And it's almost this weird kind of, I've referred to it almost as a hierarchy in conversations that I've had about this with some of my friends, but the book suggests that we are often pitted against each other, in that the disability community isn't treated as a collective.
Correct. Oh, there are people. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there is that. I mean, it's almost that they buy into the notion that, I mean, there are people, and I'm sure we all know this, some of us who are disabled, who don't consider themselves disabled. They say, "Oh, I'm not disabled." I said, "Hey, just curiosity, have you applied for the disability tax credit?" Yeah. Well, then, yeah, you have to be disabled to have the disability tax, but I'm not disabled, Paul. So you're scamming the system. I mean, like, it's like you don't want, you want the benefit of being disabled, though being called disabled, or if you know what I mean, the benefits that are available, those for people with disability, and there are people who don't buy into that. They believe in this sort of the survival of the fittest. They don't acknowledge that some people are more vulnerable and need assistance, not because they're weak, but because they just need assistance. And there's not the idea of it being unified is not we're not there yet. It's getting there, but we're not there yet. There's a whole generation of people who believe this idea of, hoist up their own bootstraps and everything. Well, if you don't have any bootstraps or can't even reach them in the first place, that's a little hard to do.
That's true.
It's easy to say that.
What
If you can't see a bootstrap? What if you can't reach down? Hey, anyone who's ever had a bad back knows how that feels like. You can't reach your own shoes or put your own socks on. That's when you find out how vulnerable we all are. And that's the thing. We are all vulnerable in that respect. And we're taught this kind of thing. I mean, and it comes down to, I think, sometimes society repeating the same myths. I'll give you two quick examples. One from the book. I believe there was Dorothy Palmer there was an article in there about discussing interabled marriages, one person being disabled, one being able-bodied, and about a 2019 show by Dr. Phil about a woman who found a boyfriend who was quadriplegic. And then Phil says, and I cannot believe he said this, you can either be his lover or a caregiver, but you can't be both.
He said that?
He said that. It's in the
my
book. It's in the
gosh.
book. You're looking and going, "Are you kidding me?" He took a lot of heat from disability
remember.
advocates, and I bet you a lot of people, especially in the able-bodied crowd, would probably agree with that. People who don't agree with that are people who maybe couples who one of whom became disabled over time,
Mm.
and who now need a caregiver. You can be both, and you have to be both sometimes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Phil
Yeah.
got this, and
Yeah.
and of course, to be fair, Dr. Phil is a clown. Okay, he's a media clown. Right? I don't.
He is.
He shouldn't be taken seriously by anybody except by
Yes.
Oprah Winfrey, apparently. The that's one example. The other one skips a minor at the moment, but that's okay. But Phil's example is a good one, and I think that says it all right there. I mean, this, yeah. Sorry, I know I got it. In 2024, after Joe Biden had that bad debate with Trump, the whole world said, "Oh, he's lost it. He can't do it anymore. He can't function anymore." A week later, the Economist magazine came out with a cover with a picture of the seal of the President of the United States, and beside a walker. And somehow, that a person who uses a walker is frail. Right? Think about that.
That's very
That's
insensitive.
2024. That's
Yeah,
2024.
sure is.
That's typical of the media that has little to no representation of people with disabilities in the newsroom. Why should I be surprised? There's an arrogance and a condescending attitude. And the question I always ask is, this question we should always ask, and no one's ever given me a good answer, and maybe if you guys have it. Business says we're for the disabled, hiring people with disabilities. Politicians, everyone's for the disabled. If that's business for the disabled, unions are for the disabled, everyone's for the disabled. If that's the case, why is the unemployment rate for people with disabilities twice that of able-bodied people? Why is the sexual assault rate against women with disabilities twice that of able-bodied women? Not that any number is acceptable, it's not. But why are the numbers so bad? And we're supposed to be all for them. So that means they're either incompetent, they're lying, or they just don't care. Or the fourth one is something or someone is stopping it. I mean, it answers the question. Like, if we're all for it, these problems should have been dealt with. But poverty in this country is growing among people with disability. It is growing, and yet we have who's listening? Who's listening? And that's among our leaders. That's the question we have that's raised, and this is something that's mentioned more than once in the book about people disabled being heard. They're not consulted for their expertise. They're told this is what you need. This is what you need to save. And science is coming out now with a few months ago came with I think it was some science how they found they can remove the extra what do you call it?
Chromosome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that
No worries.
regarding Down syndrome, they can eliminate Down syndrome. Genetic editing of a body to make it we can do it for disability, but I don't want that. Do we really want that? I mean, just think about where does this? Because once you go down that road, what else does it mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's eugenics.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
It is eugenics.
Yeah.
Exactly, eugenics.
Yeah, absolutely.
They call it progress. Another word called progress, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
progress? And that's the thing. Rather than try and make accommodations, which show that accommodations, physical, infrastructure accommodations is good for business, good for the bottom line. They said, no, let's go it this way. Let's remove the gene that causes the chromosome for the person for Down syndrome, for example. It speaks to a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Who are we serving?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
helping people
Absolutely.
with disabilities? Are we allowing them to be included, or are we just, serving? Is it like self-serving for ourselves,
Yeah.
Precisely.
And, I get a lot of people ask me, like, if there was a surgery that could restore your sight, would you take it? And I'm like,
No.
No. And I guess my reason for it is that I've built my whole life around, okay, so my disability isn't like my blindness isn't all of me.
Yeah.
It's not all of what defines me, but I've built my life around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's part of it's a
If I
part
all
of
of a sudden
Yeah.
could see, I wouldn't be me anymore. I'd
No.
have to relearn everything. It would be like someone who gradually or suddenly loses their sight,
Yeah.
having to relearn how to do things a different
Exactly.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, MacRae, it's that time in the show yet again.
Well, would you like to give us a few of your thoughts quickly first? I don't think we've really heard from you.
No,
all.
that's fine. I'm. It's okay.
Please, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, no,
We want
I
to
think
hear something. We want to hear something. Come
Yes,
on now.
please.
no, you know
The
what?
world is asking here.
It was very good. I thought it was very well written, and I have, though, from what I've read of it, gotten it. I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. What has been said today.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was fantastic. All the voices. I'm glad that there were so many voices in that book. It just sort of, if it was written by a single person, or perhaps 3 or 4, I don't know. It had a huge. I feel it had a huge impact on me that I certainly appreciated. And of course, who doesn't appreciate a well-written, obviously it was very, well thought out. And I thought it was a great book.
Yeah,
Everybody should
exactly.
read it.
Yeah.
And it goes to show that regardless of our experience with disability, we're not alone. We can all relate in some form or another. We're not alone. We're all struggling with, attitudinal barriers, physical barriers, other barriers, in one form or of another. We're all,
And we're all disabled and not disabled, but like we are disabled, but we are also, we have other facets to our lives, to our beings, talents and hobbies that often are eclipsed, unfortunately, by whatever else we deal with. But
exactly. Yeah.
I like that word.
Yes.
We're disabled and we live a fulfilling life.
There you go. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a great place to start getting into the schedule. I think it's a wonderful way to cap off that discussion. And to start with, Allie, what's coming up on the Ali Musa show?
Okay, so on Tuesday, August the 4th, right after the long weekend here, 2026, we are going to be joined here. The Ali Musa show returns to the airwaves. And we're going to be I'm going to be chatting again with Becky Coles for another. We're going to talk more about the Rogers and chorus cuts, and we're also going to talk around the news probably as well. And then on Thursday, August the 6th, it's 2026 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Becky is at 3:30, so 2 p.m. Eastern. So tune in live there that day. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to listen. You don't want to miss anything that we have to offer. So please set your notifications.
Subscribe to the YouTube channels.
Exactly, and most importantly, the newsletters.
Yes.
So yes, on Thursday
and the Facebook pages.
Oh, big time.
Yes.
And the WhatsApp.
Yes. And of course, on X at the Musa Slobodian as well. So we post everywhere. So, and of course, Blue Sky, the Musa Slobodian Network.ca. But anyway, on Thursday.
Did you just trip up over my last name?
Did I? No, I did. I most certainly did not.
Did anybody else hear that?
No,
I didn't hear that particularly well. Actually, I think we can do
I didn't hear a trip up.
We do a take there, Allie.
Pardon?
You can do another take of the name one more time.
Okay.
What's the network?
The Musa Slobodian Network.ca.
There we go.
There you go.
Makira, I didn't do anything. I didn't notice myself do anything.
No, but I had to get you back for all those words that you brought up.
Oh, I know. So on Thursday,
personal grievances are being brought in front on the air.
Oh.
My goodness. It's not good, guys, for a good work environment. I gotta tell you.
Oh yes. So on Thursday, August the 6th, 2026, at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Rod Mahood, who is the host of the Niagara Sports Report. You can find that podcast on Apple and Spotify, and of course wherever you get your podcasts. We'll talk Blue Jays, Leafs, Raptors, all that good stuff. The king of sports. Well, and then this announcement is going to be going up, but on Thursday, July. Wait a minute, August the 13th, 2026. We have Linda Steele from coming in to talk broadcasting and Oilers and maybe politics. And MacRae, I believe we also have the Ali and MacRae show coming up somewhere in between, I think.
We do. This Sunday, August 2nd, 2026, at the usual 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be right here on the air again to discuss I by M.J. Arledge. And
Sorry, what did you say, Makara?
the book for this Sunday's episode is called I. Actually, it might be a podcast. It's just the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
MJ Arc. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun and eventful lineup.
And I think Karen Morales is coming up.
Yes, on Monday, August 10th. And in case you missed it today, check out our chat with Samuel Prue.
And if you can, and I'm sure there'll be. Can you put a link to that in the show notes?
Absolutely. And what's coming up on... We alluded to it earlier. What is coming up on Techstravaganza next week? Sienna, would you like to tell us something about that?
Yes, so we have, starting on Wednesday, August the 5th, now we were going to have a tutorial of the aforementioned Mantis Q40 Braille display with one of our guest tutorialists, Amanda Ness, formerly Amanda Cape. However, she's not available to do that tutorial, so we've scheduled that for a later time to be determined. However, we are going to look at a topic that I've been itching to do for a while. It's how to set up an iPhone right from scratch, right out of the box. You take your iPhone right out of the box. You can set it up with VoiceOver. A lot of folks, when they buy their new iPhone, either from the carrier or from Apple or whichever outlet you choose to buy it from, a lot of times what happens is people don't realize that VoiceOver, they'll know that VoiceOver's there, but they won't realize that that it can be set up independently right out of the box. And so I'm going to walk you through the whole process. It's going to be a fun one. I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I've been itching to do this one. And then on Friday, August the 7th,
Right after Rod.
Right after Rod, it's Techstravaganza Extra from 7 to 9. We're going to be actually looking at Google Meet. Now, we've decided...
That is an important topic, by the way.
It is an important topic. We've decided that we are going to keep Techstravaganza itself on Zoom.
Okay.
However, yes, I know, much to both yours, Ali, and my chagrin, I'm going to be very transparent. I really would have loved to switch over to Meet, but I understand that I know a lot of people prefer Zoom, and we have had feedback that a lot of people do prefer Zoom. So I will be will be keeping Techstravaganza on Zoom. However, it's an important topic. We decided to put that on Techstravaganza Extra. for this coming Friday. And also, one more to mention is that on Thursday, the 13th of August, we will have our Textravaganza evenings, where I believe we're doing WhatsApp on the computer. I wanted to do a 2-part series, and I just wanted to let everybody know that in September I will be taking the month off. However, I I've been really, I have to say, I've been really dying to do the part 2 in September. I think one is on the PC, and one is on the Mac. The actual
Come on,
order,
you need your holiday. You need your holiday. Come on.
but I've had my holiday.
No, you haven't. You
A
haven't.
well-deserved holiday for all of your wonderful, incredible work.
Yes. No,
Thank
but
you.
no.
And-
It'll be McCara, Ashlyn, Lily, and I will look after it.
You guys are the best, all of you guys, and all of our panelists as well. You know, like we all.
Now,
7
it's
of us.
yeah. In a full disclosure, here, it's a good thing that you're doing this Google Meet tutorial because for that month, Textravaganza will be on Google Meet. Why? Because that's what I use.
Exactly.
There we go. So I know that one of them is WhatsApp on the. I think it's WhatsApp on the PC first, and then we'll do the WhatsApp on the Mac. I think we're going to switch that to October.
All right.
But we'll be keep an eye on the newsletter. We'll be switching around some topics, and we'll be filling you guys in via the newsletter. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter.
Make sure subscribe.
And if I may ask, Lynn, what is happening on Bookends?
Oh, well, to be honest, I don't think those people need me anymore. I suggest, the topic each week. And they just pick that right up and they run with it. Well, run with it, or sometimes if they're in the midst of something else, or I suppose if they don't like the topic suggestion or whatever. But yeah, they just, I just kind of sit back, I sip my coffee, and they just, talk to each other, ask each other questions about, whatever book somebody's talking about that they're really interested in. Yeah, I shouldn't say I could, I do play an important role, but they're a great bunch, and they just dive right in and, do their thing. And I think it's really neat that they, because I can sit back and sip my coffee while 2 or 3 people are talking about, oh yeah, I read that book. What did you think about, and then somebody else might jump in. It's just really, I find it really productive that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's good.
I like the theme aspect of it, where every week there's a different theme, and it's just interesting to see how people just take it and just fly with it.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, and sometimes, I love thinking up the themes because it feeds into my excuse me, it feeds into my reading too.
Excellent.
We recently talked about banned books. We've discussed what do you call them? The Air Force editions of books that were sent out to the troops in World War II, just to, they were made small enough to fit in their back pocket, and talk about books having power. Right?
Yeah, this sounds like a good. Yeah.
that was a topic. Um,
Lots of good
it
stuff on the
makes
horizon.
it makes me sort of expand my thoughts about um, different focus that we can take, different topics, and it's fun for me to do that. I know some of their favorites, so maybe a year after we've talked about whatever the topic has been, I'll
Yes.
repeat the topic because I know they enjoy it, and new
Yeah.
books are always coming out.
There we
So
go.
yeah, it's fun. It's
Stay
good.
tuned. Yes. And
And speaking of books, we'll be back here with another panel on Friday, August 28th, 2026. Same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, to discuss In the Key of Genius, The Extraordinary Life of Derek Paravicini by Adam Ockleford.
Okay, excellent.
That's a good one. It's definitely going to be a good reread.
And thank you so much to our
Mhm.
listeners. Thank you, all of you out there in listener land, for tuning in. And thank you for another amazing discussion to all of our panelists here tonight. I really appreciate all of you for being here.
Thank you for having us. It's been
Been a
a
pleasure.
pleasure.
It was fun. It was a pleasure.
sounds good. And we'll play the outro. They're gonna stop the audio.